Yes, then everybody died so many times. They were happy. They were happy though. 카잔에 있어서 이제 다양한 스킬과 함께 이 카잔만의 소울즈라이크 혹은 하드코어 액션 RPG라는 장르에 맞게끔 이 전투 스타일이 맞춰진 것 같은데요.
카잔이라는 이 저희 게임, 카잔 게임의
Yes, just like you said, Khazan is a hardcore action game, and if you think about the story of the Khazan game, the hero of the empire gets accused of treason, and then if he experiences a downfall, and he starts a journey to find the truth, and in the end of the day, takes revenge. Right now, this is a very intense process, a very intense journey. And we wanted the process to be very immersive, both in emotional way, but also in a content system-wise. What's really important here is that, developers wanted the players to challenge themselves with different tasks in the game and also feel the sense of achievement by overcoming these difficulties. So we really wanted to emphasize that while creating the artwork and as well as developing the combat system in the game. When it comes to difficulties, if it's too easy, you're not going to feel the same sense of achievement through all these challenges that we've placed in the game. And we really wanted that experience of achieving goals of the game to be very exhilarating. So some difficulty was very necessary in the game. But we do have some different systems and different contents and devices, such as farming, gear system, and skill trees that users can tap into in order to customize difficulties for themselves, instead of giving a set difficulty setting. And that way, they can really customize their gameplay and achieve the goals of the game in a way they love. And in a way they love in the action games especially. We want many players to enjoy Khazan as much as they can. That includes people who aren't familiar with action games. We're thinking about putting in some difficulty settings. So it's still in discussion, but just so that they're able to go for challenges and also achieve goals in the game.
수 있도록 그런 어떤 시스템적인 난이도를 선택한다든지 그런 부분들을 좀 고려를 하고 있습니다.
So Khazan plays on the bigger universe of Dungeon and Fighter.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a bit more about Khazan's role of this game's role in the universe?
원작 던전 앤 파이터에서 아주 다양한 캐릭터가 있지만 그중에서도 비검사라는 캐릭터가
In the original Dungeon and Fighter title, we have many different important classes. But among them, Slayer, which is also a ghost knight in different regions, is a very important class. And because it's a class that really starts and kicks off the whole entire universe and the lore of it. In the original title, we talk about the ghost knights as players, and the ghost arm is always very important element of those classes. It's actually a disease. It's called the Khazan syndrome. And when you get this disease, then your arm becomes ghosted and they become red. As you can tell through the name, it's really because of the character Khazan. So he used to be a great general, a hero of the empire. There's a downfall, and at the end of the day, he becomes a person who transmits these syndromes to the world. By developing the first Berserker Khazan, we wanted to tap into that story deeper and tell the story in the shoes of Khazan as well, how he became, the ancestor of the players, and then how it became the start of the syndrome. So when you play the game Khazan, you might think that he's acting independently and kind of separate from the original universe, but there are very deep connections you can find in the game that connects to the original universe.
시작되는 중요한 본원점 중에 하나라고.
Are there a lot of Easter eggs or a lot of connections between those two universes? Or
원작을 전혀 몰라도 아무 문제가 없습니다. 정말 재밌게 플레이하실 수 있을 거고.
Even if you don't know the original title, there's absolutely no problem enjoying the game to the fullest. We have a story well developed from the beginning to the end for the game Khazan, so there's no problem. But if you do know the original title, you'll probably enjoy it a little more because there's similarities to the original title. It will be really interesting to see how that's portrayed in the game Khazan. There are differences from the original title, so that will be interesting to see how that unfolds in the game. There are some hidden elements that connect you and goes back to the original universe, so that's going to be also very interesting for the people who know about the franchise already. So the game Khazan is great fun for both parties, and we've made sure that it's fun for everyone.
가셔도 또 다른 재미를 즐길 수 있는 그런 게임이 될 거라고 생각합니다.
What would you define as the core mood or atmosphere of Khazan the Last Person?
화려한 전체 캐릭터가 굉장히 많은 역경을 그리고
If you think about the character Khazan, he goes through many different struggles. And especially if you look into the story, there are very serious themes such as betrayals and revenges and things like that. So that was very important for the setting the tone and manner, right? So we've used the cartoon rendering graphic for, Khazan. And it's just like you said, it was very intentionally dark when it comes to ambiance and different details we put in for the game because of the core themes we've chosen for the game. While playing the game, while overcoming these difficulties and hardships and very difficult situations, that we've made sure that the art style is helping the users to feel the sense of achievement through, going through all these hardcore actions in the dark ambiance.
게임에서 성취감을 받을 수 있게 그런 것 속에서 주겠다는
If you could put it into percentages, how much would you say is the story told through cutscenes and how much is told by environmental design?
컷신으로 저희가 생각을 했었을 때 메인
I mean, there are players who doesn't know about the universe, the original Dungeon title, but we still wanted them to connect to Kaza and feel where he comes from and also empathize with, difficulties that it encounters in its journey. I really wanted the gameplay to be purposeful, right? So, coming back to, storytelling, big wrenches of the story is mostly told by the cinematic cutscenes. But at the same time, the users can travel the meta and they'll find different objects, they'll find different items that also becomes a type of evidence or clue. You'll also talk to different NPCs that you can find out more about, the incidents in the game or even get a backstory of any event that's going on in the gameplay. It's not just for Khazan, but it's also about the other characters too. So you'll play the game and you'll learn about the story a little bit more through interacting with different items or characters in the game, where they come from, and mostly just get a lot of information about the whole universe, DNF universe as well, through different interactions. But in percentages, the core story is almost 100% told by the cinematic cutscenes. But when it comes to, backstories or more details about the original universe or other minor details that users find interesting would be told through the environmental design, which would be about 20% of those factors.
되는 내용들은 모험이라든지 이런 것들을 통해서 주변에서 어떤 일들이 일어나고 있는지 뒷이야기들은 어떤 내용들이 있었는지 그런 것들을 파악하실 수 있도록 디자인을 했습니다.
이제 3D 셀 애니메이션이랑 카툰 렌더링 저희가 얘기가 나왔는데 왜 이렇게 하셨는지 궁금합니다.
가장 중요한 이유는 그 저전의 파이서즈가 가지고 있는 소년 매너를 잘
The most important thing was really transfer the tone and manner of the original Dungeon and Fighter universe to the game Khazan. Another thing that we considered a lot was because a lot of similar games go for photorealistic graphic, but the limitation that poses is that it's really difficult because every detail and every explanation is within one state when it comes to photorealistic. It's really difficult to make users to be imaginative when it comes to connecting to the emotions of the characters. And we thought that, in order to bring out a different ambiance and details of the dungeons, but at the same time also bring out the emotions the Khazan is going through in a certain event, a 3D cell animation was the best approach for that. And also because, similar genre games go for more realistic graphic, we thought that, having this type of graphic approach would obviously help Khazan to be unique in the market, but again, at the same time, deliver more emotional impact to the user.
를 통해 가지고 어떤 다른 게임들에서 겪지 못했던 그 스토카를 갖고 게임을 좀 전달하고 싶었습니다.
In the West, the only other game that style is code based. And aren't you scared that it's going to be compared to this?
헤드베이드로 되게 좋은 게임이라고 생각합니다. 근데 그치만은 우리
I mean, Code Vein is a great game, but for the game Khazan, We thought, this is our best approach for telling the story that we intended. It also had a lot of inspirations for different animations, anime, and different mangas. I've used every fiber in my body to make sure that inspiration is delivered to the game Khazan, and we just hope that the users find it interesting and new and enjoy the uniqueness.
즐겨주셨으면 하는 바람이
Do you think you were able to keep that mark, like that period of time that you've set until now with the development? Oh.
네.
Yes,
아무 일 없이
no problem. We don't see any problem.
그리고 그 반응을 기반으로 지금 개발 상황에서 변경하신 점이 있는지 궁금합니다.
저희가 마지막으로 게임스컴에
The last game show we went to was Gamescom in Germany. And after visiting the event, we were so glad that we entered Khazan, the game show. Obviously, Tokyo Game Show is a great show. We're happy to be here, but it was a very great experience for us back in Germany. Khazan is a very difficult game, and while players were playing, we were able to watch them in the back. And sometimes we feel really bad because they were struggling so much and they were dying so many times. And we were actually worried. We felt bad for the players, but we were worried if they're going to find this interesting and entertaining because of so many deaths they've been experiencing. But many players, when they were exiting the demo booth, they were telling us it's a great game. They had a great fun. What was really surprising was a lot of comments that we got was that they were grateful that we've made a great game. So, listening to all that kind of positive feedback, we were extremely happy, and it really inspired for us to make a better game with Khazan. Throughout the whole demo session, we were able to figure out where users usually struggle, and we are just in the process of just gradually modifying that, just so that people can enjoy the game better. Everything we hear or feel during the game shows just makes us a better developer and help us make better games.
So let's imagine the game came out and people have played it and they are finished. What do you want those players to feel at the end?
카잔의 이야기 전반적으로 굉장히 좀 어두워요. 어둡고
The Khazan story is quite poignant. It's quite dark and it's tragic, and we've made sure the art already also delivers that kind of emotion for all the struggles and difficulties and challenges that he goes through. With the core theme, we've said betrayals and revenge against the emperor, and we thought, this would be interesting for players while they play. But another very important factor in the story is his Khazan's very old friend, Ozma. The friendship they share and also the journey of Ozma is also a very important element in the game Khazan. These are the core themes that we've set, right? The revenge against the emperor, but also the friendship between Khazan and Ozma. So, after they finish the game, we'd want them to really share and connect to all the emotions that has been portrayed by the game. Obviously, that we'd love for them to feel entertained by the game. We'd also want them to feel celebrated by all the actions that they have performed in the game. Also feel in connection to the deep friendship that was portrayed in the game. And also, we would love the users to feel interested about the original title and the Dungeon and Fighter universe has been the core fundamental pillar of the game.
Thank you so much. As a German, I know Germans love to suffer through games.
네, 독일인으로서 원래 독일 사람들이 게임하면서 절망하는 걸 좋아하기 때문에 전혀 문제가 없습니다.
굉장히 재밌게 즐기시더라고요.
Yeah, they were very happy with the struggles.
엄청 좋아요.
Yes, everybody died so many times, and they were happy. They were happy though.